Need financing for a vehicle or financial assistance with late auto payments? Don't have the money to your rent or mortgage? Need financial help with utilities? And also, would you want to receive cash back rewards for paying bills? Visit our friends at financialservicessolutions.com, where you can get an array of packages that will fit your needs, from monthly investments to virtual wallet accounts. You get debit cards, you get an array of services, and you can pick between 4 different packages. Visit our friends at financialservicessolutions.com today. So a Florida court judge on Wednesday blocked a congressional map favored by Governor Ron DeSantis that would wipe out a voting district in North Florida, represented by a black Democrat. Now, Leon County Circuit Judge Lane Smith said the map drawn by DeSantis' staff is unconstitutional under Florida's Fair District Amendment because it reduces the impact of 370,000 black voters in 8 mostly rural counties. He said it diminishes black Americans' ability to elect the representative of their choice. He said, now Smith, he is a DeSantis appointee, and said he would issue his formal ruling this week, noting the timing is crucial. The candidates hoping to run in the state's 28 congressional districts face a June 17 qualifying deadline. Now, DeSantis' spokeswoman said that she would appeal, or he would appeal, of course, the order. Now, they said the 5th district was drawn by the Florida Supreme Court in 2015 and left largely intact by state legislators in this year's once of a decade map revision. Say it follows the Florida-Georgia state line from Jacksonville west to a small town of Quincy, encompassing counties with some of the highest percentages of black voters in the state. Now, I say the district is represented by Al Lawson, a Democrat, who in 2016 became the first black person since Reconstruction to represent most of those counties. Now, this year, in the midst of a pressure campaign, and say from Donald Trump's former senior advisor, Stephen K. Bannon, DeSantis proposed his own map to eliminate the 5th district. He said first for Florida governor, say he later vetoed the map submitted by legislators and called them back for a special session to pass his map. He said, which they did last month. Now, DeSantis' map also shrinks another district held by a black Democrat in Central Florida. He said in a good political year for Republicans, and say as this year expected to be, Republicans could win 20 out of 28 seats in the state that Trump won by 3 percentage points. Now, I say this week's decision only impacts the North Florida district. Now, DeSantis' communications director said that these complex constitutional matters, of law, were destined for an appellate review. Now, this is the thing, and I told y'all, and let me review the Republican strategy. The Republican strategy has always been, we don't want black people to vote. That's always been their strategy. They feel that black people voting is going to not allow them in office. You understand? They don't have a strategy to say, well, let's get black people into the Republican Party because maybe it's something here they would like. Now, there's a lot of disgruntled black voters as of right now, and they are right to be disgruntled. They have a right to be upset. But the strategy for the Republicans is, let's just make sure that we take over everything. We rule. We have the wing of white supremacists in the Republican Party, and we don't really want black people to be a part of it unless they are a bootlicking, shoe shining raccoons. You understand? And if you're not willing to be a bootlicking, shoe shining raccoon, you don't really have a place in the Republican Party. Let's call it what it is. Now, a lot of black people are socially conservative. They are. There's a lot of things that the Republican Party talk about that black people agree with. We're not the leaders of talking about going out here and having this big fight about deleting your children. You know, we're not out here being the leaders of all this LGBT things that's going on, or all the different policies, you know, that the Democrats are pushing, like the immigration policies and all of that. We're not pushing all that. And we can get down on some things like that. But the Republican Party keeps up this wing of white supremacists, and black people and white supremacists are not going to get along. We are enemies, and that's the way it's going to be. We cannot get along with a white supremacist whatsoever. But the Republican Party, I'm talking about the rank and file. We're talking about rank and file, traditional Republican Party. They see the inevitable happening, so they're doing everything they can to prevent it, right? When you see them packing the courts with all these people that, I think, was it the Federalist Society that had handpicked certain judges, is because they want to fix it where they can still rule when they're a minority. That's what the play is now. The play is to rule while we are a minority. So let's pack the courts with everybody we can that's going to be hardcore white supremacists, right? The Democrats, they feel the exact same way as the Republicans, but as I said before, they're going to do it different. They're going to say, no, we got to let them participate in the system, because the way y'all doing it, y'all going to have them do an uprising. And uprising is not good for white supremacy, because we have a lot to lose. We have a lot to lose. If they have a collective uprising and in every major city in America, they're causing $1 billion+ of damage or more, that's not good for white supremacy. That's not good for our image throughout the world, that black people are turning up like that, and black people saying it's because of the way you treating them. So the left wing is constantly telling the right wing, y'all can't do it this way, guys. Let us do it, because we have finessed black people. Black people vote for us like a religion. But the right wingers are saying, no, we ain't got time to play that game with you. What you do is too slow, and you're going to let some of them in, and then the risk is one of them may actually do what's right by their community. Not all of them going to sell out, or some of them may play the game with you and act like they sold out, but one of them may be a sleeper agent and actually go come in there and actually do what's right for black people. We don't want to take that risk. We don't want to take it. So we're going to try to disenfranchise black people from voting. We're going to try to make sure that we are on the courts and do everything we can. We're trying to save the white numbers. That's why we want to get rid of Roe v. Wade, because that's what that's about. I mean, we're so desperate to save the white numbers that when these other males in their community violate people, they don't want to send them to jail. They act like that's not a crime anymore. If you pay attention to how they keep letting these jokers go over and over and over, the right wingers want to preserve an immunity of law for the white supremacists. Look at the January 6th thing. You got Biden in there, and Biden is not doing nothing to him. It lets you know he on code. He's on code, because let me tell you something. The right wing and the left wing are the same. Don't ever let them say, oh, these right wingers is. No. They both on the same team of white supremacy. Both of them. They're not different. They sit down with each other. They get along with each other. Trust me, they do. They don't hate each other. Why would the left wing hate the right wing when both of them believe in white supremacy? The right wing is not trying to hurt white people. They're trying to hurt everybody else outside of white people, especially the black people, for sure. But they're not trying to hurt other white people. So why would the white liberal, what they gonna really get hurt by a policy that the right winger is gonna put out? Notice how even when the Democrats get in, nothing changes for you. Your life don't get better. Why? Because the left wing is about maintaining white supremacy, which means maintaining the sabotage against you, maintaining the oppression against you. Rest assured, no party is for black people. Not a one. Now let's talk about voting. Let's talk about voting for real. Could voting be used to get a lot of things done? Sure. Definitely on the local level. But the problem is that we haven't gotten candidates from the grassroots locally to make these changes locally. Because if we would actually vote in a block like we should vote and vote on a code and say, this is what we need, so let's get this person in, let's get that person in, and stick to that, we can get a lot done. We actually could. But it's like, if you look at local politics, a lot of times people don't come out to vote for that. But you so faithful to come out and vote for that presidential election. You faithful to that. Black folks, you can count them in to go vote for that. But you not there for your local politics. You barely come out and vote. I was remembering the vote from my hometown. I saw Port Arthur, Texas. You had Derek Freeman and you had old Thurman Barty. Do you know now Port Arthur is what? Oh, I don't know. Is it 40, 50,000 people, something like that? Possibly. Could be less. But you know, only 5,000 people voted in that election. 5,000 people. That's ridiculous. Your mayor affects you. Your city council affects you. Your sheriff, your judges affect you. You need to get out there and go vote for them. I tell people, vote locally. I'm not against voting. I'm just against voting for the National Democrat Party that's not doing nothing for black people. Biden and them and the Congressional Black Caucus and all them. And then if y'all would mobilize locally, the Congressional Black Caucus would be in line. If you mobilize locally. Instead of saying, oh, you're not going to do it for black people, you gone. We're going to replace you with brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so. You're out of here. Your 2 years is up, you're gone. So a lot of people have become apathetic to voting because black people say, well, voting don't do no good. And the reason why I say voting don't do no good is because the people that you put in there don't do nothing for black people. Now, of course, the Republicans love to hear when black people say, I'm not voting. They love that because they know good and well they're going to be in office if black people don't vote. But sometimes you got to take that step and say, I'm not voting for the Democrats. I'm not voting for them people. They ain't done nothing for me. And at least I know the Republicans, because they white supremacy, they're not going to be doing nothing for these other groups either. At least with the Democrats, they use our votes and everybody get benefits. Everybody. And I also understand, we talk about the Asian hate crime bill deal. Republicans voted for that too. See, they cool. I'm going to tell you one group of people that they cool with, the Asian community. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You know, they I don't know what it is with them. And them folks, you know, because if you look at it, they men. If they don't marry white women, that's the first women they go after, is those women. I've heard, I saw some stories from brothers say that they married to some Asian women and them folks be looking at them funny when they with Asian women. I say, that's interesting. You know, the look, you know, the why they looking at them funny, you know, but it is what it is. I don't know what's the kinship on that. But yeah, the Republicans had voted for that too now. It wasn't just the Democrats. It's both of them, but we fought more the Democrats because black people vote, 90+%, 80% for the Democrats. So rest assured, no party is for black people. None. But everything we do, we must do it strategically. And right now, the strategy is we don't vote for the Democrats. That's the strategy for right now. The strategy can change in 2 years if we see something we need to change the strategy for. But as of this midterm, no, we can't vote for them. The Democrats ain't done nothing for us. We got out there and voted as a community, right? You gave them the House, you gave them the Senate, you gave them the presidency, and they didn't do nothing. So since you didn't do nothing with it in the 2 years you had, hey, just go ahead on and relax your nerves. Relax. Don't even be trip. Don't trip at all. And then maybe in the next 2 years, we'll see what it looks like. We'll see if we have to repeat the same thing again or whatever we need to do. Some people say they're going to do a protest vote just so the Democrats can feel it. But you know me, I like my white supremacists up front. I love them up front. Bring them up front because they help me do my job a lot faster. The Democrats, they play a Jedi mind trick on y'all. It's hard showing y'all what the Democrats do. Oh, Lord, it's hard. But when you got them Republicans up there, just in your face with it, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, it wakes y'all up. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. That way you know when we post another podcast. Make sure you click that like button. And we can help us spread the definitely content through the algorithm. If you enjoy the show, leave us a love offer and it'd be greatly appreciated. And I know you have many podcasts you can choose to listen to, and you stop by, listen to ours. We greatly appreciate that. So thank you for listening, and see you next time.